I really don't want to spread fear among the community, but there are 3 things that I think every single veteran needs to consider, and I'll give my advice on what you can do about it.
Whiskey 9 Yankee 7 November Golf, over.
Starting with number 3, and this gets under my skin, but it's how the new 50% criteria is written. Treatment ineffective as determined by the sleep study, or unable to use treatment due to comorbid conditions and without an organ damage. There is a note at the bottom of the rating criteria that is extremely important to understand. Note, qualifying, and I'm just going to say conditions, are conditions that, in the opinion of a qualified medical provider, directly impede or prevent the habitual use of a recognized form of treatment shown by sleep study to be effective in the affected veteran's case. And it talks about dermatitis, the face or the nares, Parkinson's disease, missing limbs, disfigurement, skull fracture, things like that. Comorbid just means coexisting, and according to this note, a self-report of having PTSD when you sleep isn't going to cut it, because it requires a qualified medical provider to dictate which conditions keep you from using that form of treatment. And we're obviously talking about the CPAP here. What I question is, if you can't use your CPAP because you simply just can't sleep with it on, would that be material evidence for the VA to reduce your rating? And this is what brings us to question number 2. How are they going to determine to reduce a veteran's rating? I completely understand 38 CFR 3.951, and that protects ratings from being reduced on a scheduled change. However, make no mistake, the VA can still lower your rating when presented with material evidence. So personally, I find myself in this catch-22. Do I tell you that your rating is 100% protected by 3.951, which is true? Or do I tell you if the VA has material evidence, they can reduce your rating, which is also true? To be honest with you, that's why I made this video, because only time will tell. The VA has an argument to reduce any veteran's rating if given material evidence, and that's a fact. In this case, a CPAP machine sends information back to your healthcare team. The problem is not everyone uses their CPAP through the VA. Some have private. So will a static sleep apnea rating remain static if material evidence is given to the VA that your condition is treated with the CPAP? As we see in the rating schedule, that's a 0% rating, asymptomatic with or without treatment. It would be the same for any other condition that was miraculously healed. Same. My number 1 concern is how many veterans will this affect? I don't believe the VA will reduce prior ratings, but to be honest, only time will tell. If presented with material evidence, the VA has an argument. This will absolutely affect new veteran ratings for sleep apnea once this rating schedule is final. Something else to note, that 50% on its own grants a veteran to VA healthcare for any and all conditions. So this change is a huge deal. I do believe this change will have the biggest impact on veterans when compared to the mental health changes and the tinnitus changes. I definitely want to hear your thoughts, so feel free to share them in the comment section. Different opinions are welcomed and encouraged here. I want to hear from you.